Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm just going to do a quick benchmark of the Hitman 3 newly released game. Now, good thing about the Hitman games, they always come with an internal benchmark suite that you can try out. So you can actually do several benchmark scenes. You can do Dartmoor, Dubai, and you can actually do an interactive benchmark of Dartmoor where you can just basically shoot all the guns and explore all the physics in the game. But I'm going to do the Dartmoor benchmark. It's just a single run, and it's just going to see how well the RTX 3090 and 5950X perform. Now, these are the settings I'm using. So playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160. No VSync on, no HDR, super sampling's at default. Everything else is maxed out. I've even enabled motion blur to high just for those who think that it affects performance. So just don't want to create the argument or the suggestion. So let's give it a go and see how the hardware performs. Before I do that though, may as well show you the settings I'm running. So I'm running an undervolt of 0.85 volts, and I've got 348 on the memory. So that's all I've really done to my RTX 3090. With a 380 watt power limit, there isn't really much room for me to push the card. 5950X, however, is at stock, but I've kind of used a kind of tweaked PBO because I'm using the curve optimizer. So I've put a bit of negative voltage on the strong cores, and that kind of helps get a higher boost clock. So that should help. Memory, I'm running 3800 megahertz. This is DDR, so it's double data. So you times the 1900 megahertz you see here by 2, and you get 3800 megahertz. So I'm running a 1900 F clock as well. 14, 14, 14, 30. It's a CL14 timings as well. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to get into the benchmark now and see how my system scores. So far so good. Everything seems to be running around the 100 FPS mark. It does, the game does hitch quite a bit at the very start, but then it kind of smoothens out, I've noticed, for the benchmark. At least with my system, I don't know about you guys, but the very start of the benchmark, there's quite a lot of stuttering, and then it kind of just smoothens out. But you can see the performance is really good. Even for using maximum settings, you're still going to achieve around about 100 frames per second, which is quite nice. The physics are impressive though. There is quite a lot of the environment that is destructible. I was actually pretty surprised when playing this benchmark, or not playing it, running it, and seeing just how much damage you can do to the buildings. So they've put a really good damage engine in the game, which was kind of surprising actually. As you can see, it's not really putting much load on the 5950X. I think the highest I've seen is like maybe 35% on the GPU, so on the CPU, sorry. So, you know, the 5950X has got plenty of headroom for whatever this game wants to throw at it. Just saw 37% there, so, you know, it's not even using 50% of the GPU, but it is using all the cores and threads, which is nice to see. That's a good thing about the Glacier engine. It does seem to be quite well optimized and taking advantage of multi-threaded CPUs, even up to 16 cores or more, which is really nice to see, and you rarely see it. So it's credit where credit's due. Feel free to post your results in the comment section if you do own Hitman 3 and you have the game, and you can run the same settings I did and just post your results and tell me what you guys have got. I'm about to get my results now. It should average over 100 FPS quite easily. So overall score is 103.44 frames per second, which is pretty decent. Not quite the 120 hertz, 120 frames per second that I would like to make me take advantage of my 120 hertz 4K OLED, but I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, that was just a quick benchmark for you guys to see how it performs. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.